Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. This is Marilyn Gale. Listen, guys, I'm going to do a review, not a recap. I'm just going to do a review of what I thought about this is a one-time series of 3 of different couples. It's called Hopelessly in Love. And the one that I'm going to speak on today is between Lisa Left Eye Lopes and her ex-boyfriend Andre Rison. Now, before I get started, let me just invite anyone who has not subscribed to my channel. You can do that now and hit that notification bell. And also, I just want to let you know that I'm going to be all over the place. I'm not going to pick scene by scene. I'm just going to be, as I remember things, I'm just going to tell you what I think about, the series, this part 1 series, that I'm just going to do the part 1 of the Lifetime series of Hopelessly in Love. Okay, now, it starts out, different people are just saying, how they saw the relationship, how they met Lisa, those of, the relatives of Andre, the friends of his, how the family felt about, Lisa and how Lisa's family felt about them. And, I guess I was expecting something a little bit different, but I guess you do have to go into how people felt about each other to show the dynamics of the relationship. And let me just start out with, Andre's sister, and her name was Raquel Brown. Now, it was obvious to me. I think maybe the first line or two shows, when she met Lisa and that she thought she was a nice girl. And from then, I think that's probably one of the very few things she said nice. Okay. Now, I think part of it was when she first met Lisa, and then shortly after, Lisa came over and she really never left the mansion that her boyfriend Andre Rison was in. So you could tell her tone of her voice when she said, well, she came over and she never left, and that's not exactly the tone, but you could tell the tone of her voice that was an indication from the very start. She, in my opinion, she was just set on not liking Lisa. I think part of it stemmed from Andre and Lisa's, well, it was Andre's stepdad, and it was Raquel's father. Well, when he got killed, her brother Andre kind of took over that role of being the father figure. She looked up to her brother, and they had a very close relationship, according to her, and I believe that. And so it appears to me that when Lisa came into the picture, that kind of, now Andre has a girlfriend, a living girlfriend, and she didn't. To me, it was based very quickly on jealousy. Like Lisa was, they were casting her aside, and Lisa was pretty much taking her place as far as, being around Andre all the time. So I think she got less attention from her brother. So I think from the very beginning, that was the reason why the beginning reason on why she didn't really get Lisa a chance. Now, after Lisa has, and we'll get into that more later on, after Lisa had set fire to his house, the the family members, mom or any relative, like, well, wow, your girlfriend, set fire to the bathroom and then ultimately to set fire and the whole house burnt down. You might feel some kind of way, but from the very beginning, I think there was something where she was jealous of the attention that her brother was giving Lisa, and she was not getting any more. So to me, it was clear that there was some jealousy. Now, then this is just, my opinion. And then she insinuated, well, I take that back. She didn't insinuate it. The sister, Raquel Brown, she straight out said it. That Lisa Left Eye Lopes put some voodoo on her brother. She said that she ran into this lady, and the lady told her what to look for. She found a paper bag with an eye on the bag, and inside the paper bag, it was a comb, her comb, Raquel's comb inside the bag. Now, you don't just run into that. You knew of somebody that had some knowledge of some voodoo, and you went to her. Let's not act like by happenstance you walking down the street or so, or you're at this grocery store and you just happen to meet this lady to tell you what to look for if somebody's practicing voodoo. I don't believe that. I think she sought out somebody, probably told a few people, and, oh, you can ask so-and-so. They know a little bit about that voodoo stuff. Now, I don't know whether this was it because she didn't elaborate it, but I do know, some people that kind of, in fact, I used to work with a girl that was from Louisiana, and she had a voodoo doll on her desk, pinned to her desk, and, just to kind of, dig at some people in the office, just to get on their nerve, she would tell me things about what people did for voodoo. And so I was told that, she was, if you find someone's comb and you can use some of the hair strands that's in the comb, that, you can do some things to people. So, she would tell me, my ex-coworker, she would tell me a lot of things about, how you do this and how you do that. And then you write the person's name down so many times and you wrap it in this and whatever. And then in some instances you burn this and, so I kind of know a little bit, only from my coworker. I never really asked her anything. It was all voluntary because I just, was like, I would listen, but it was just something I just didn't want to get in deep with. But I do think that the sister Raquel sought out someone. So I don't believe she ran into someone. So anyway, she believed that Lisa put voodoo on her brother to keep him around. And so I do like what the mother said. His mother said, she said, oh no, well, I don't believe that. Although the mom, said she liked her, but then as time went on, her opinion of Lisa changed. And I think that maybe the series kind of put all this in just to show you like I said, the dynamics of the relationship. And when your family, and I think they downplayed it, even as hard as Raquel was on Lisa, I think still they downplayed how much they really disliked her, because I remember Andre saying in the series that, it was a bad situation. So even with Raquel just being at times, I think, unfair when it comes to Lisa, I think she downplayed it. She put a little bit of filter in what she said, although I think the mom voiced some dislike. She was still kind of using a lot of filters, and she was still being respectful. And I think at some point that Raquel was just not being respectful, as the mom has stated, even after Lisa burnt down the house, which it was not on purpose. She burnt down the house. She felt that, even at that point, Andre did not leave, and he didn't leave because, she didn't really blame him because that was his choice to stay. The sister also put out there, and the way she said it rubbed me the wrong way. She said that Lisa needed psychiatric help. And, and she said that after she mentioned, that Lisa burnt down the house. But let me just go into that. Lisa was supposed to she went someplace and she was supposed to be gone for a while. When she came back sooner than expected, according to what, Lisa said, and I'm going to believe her because she's not here to defend anything what people are saying. So I'm just going to tell you what Lisa said happened, and it doesn't excuse, and I don't excuse people be burning up people's stuff or whatever, But she says she walked in the bathroom. He didn't expect her there, and he was butt naked, and it was somebody in there. She didn't elaborate, but she just said it was somebody in there. Every teddy bear that she had bought, Andre, she burned up in the tub, and so it kind of messed up the bathroom, and the bathroom had been remodeled by Andre. Okay, another incident happened, and it was stemmed around him cheating. Now, he said he never cheated. He didn't give a damn what people thought, whatever he know, and he didn't say damn. He said the F-bomb. But he didn't care because he knew what happened. And even his sister, they switched scenes, and she kind of laughed like, yeah, I don't believe that one. And I don't either, because he was a prominent football player, I think a wide receiver or something. And those fans and groupies of what's around, women was at his disposal. But he would say that, he would talk, his friend would say, I see you out with 5 or 6 women, whatever. You can't be having sex with all those women. And he would say, no, I would just, I just like to be in a company of a beautiful lady. And it was more of me helping them out mentally. Yeah, right, Andre. It was just talking when Lisa walked in the bathroom and you was butt naked and the girl was in there. Y'all talked. Okay. But anyway, the incident that happened that burned down the house was she took his gym shoes and she figured she would burn them up like she burned the teddy bears. Well, unbeknownst to her, when he remodeled the bathroom, instead of having marble, I think they said it was fiberglass. So when she let it up, those flames just shot out. And before you knew it, the house was inflamed and it burnt down to the ground. So she meant to set the fire. But she didn't mean to burn down the house. And it just appears like they didn't have that conversation. Okay, Lisa, if you gonna be burning stuff, don't do it because that was marble before, and so it contained the flame. This time it's fiberglass, so please don't burn no more stuff in tub or whatever, And you got to think about it. The reason why she put it in the tub instead of the middle of the floor, she thought she contained the fire, and to me that makes sense. But anyway, I think she just like went ballistic when that happened. And do I think she, the things that happened to her when she was younger with having an abusive father, abusive to her mom, verbally abusive to them, and I don't know whether he ever hit them or not, but she kind of made me laugh when she was over in Honduras and she was telling how her father was, like a drill sergeant, and he was military. He had went to Vietnam, but he would line them up and he would in a row and he was pace back and forth, and he would tell them, now the 3 of you have walked and seen the pen on the floor and you could have picked it up. You could have picked it up, but no, you just stepped over the pen. All of you guys, you could have picked it up, and he would just walk back and forth, just telling them, what they didn't do and what they could have done and whatever, just like a drill sergeant. So she, she mentioned that, and the way she imitated her father. I know there's a backstory to a lot of things, but she was very humorous. And I found out from this series, just, listening to her, that, and the way she did things and said things, she had a good sense of humor. And I think she just drew people in, and they liked to be around her. So I think, that she probably could have used a little therapy to get those things out, and so she could, because she was the only two, according to the sister, she was the only one that got into an abusive, and they didn't say whether it was just it was Andre or other people that she had dealt with. But let me tell you, I did not know, and a lot of you probably did, but I did not know that how close she was to Tupac. It was said that she loved him, but Tupac, him and her had decided they would never be in a relationship. And I think because Tupac really had respect and love for Lisa, that he didn't want to ruin it with a relationship. I don't know. That's just my opinion and the way I saw it. But I think Andre may have become verbally abusive, and she had mentioned in another documentary that she did, The Last Days of Left Eye, when she went over to Honduras, that he didn't just take his fist and punch into him, but I think there was a lot of slapping and pushing going on. But slapping and pushing and is still abuse. And so the sister had mentioned, like I said, that Lisa was the only one of her and her brother that was in that type of a relationship, abusive a relationship, from seeing it and growing up with it all their life. And so Lisa, it might have been a good idea, but to just say, the way that the sister Raquel said it, it just rubbed me the wrong way. I think basically there was a lot of information that I didn't know. I liked a lot of parts of it. It showed me a lot about Lisa, and actually Lisa was a lot like her mom. Her mom had visions, and I think Lisa had times where she could know things and she could see things, in the spirit realm. And even to the point where Lisa's sister said that the reason why I think her and Tupac was so good of friends and why she loved him so much is they connected on a spiritual level. Now, let me go over, like I said, I'm going to be all around the place as things come to me. The mom says she saw a vision, and she said, I was not asleep. It was a vision. I was awake. And she says she saw one of her daughters, because she had two daughters, one of her daughters in a casket, and she didn't know which one. And then I guess she saw the vision again, and she saw that it was Lisa. And it was before, of course, it wasn't even within a few days, the way I got the information that Lisa died. And then they had talked to Suge Knight in prison, and he would say that Lisa told him that a spirit was after her. I think that was Suge that said that. And I'm going off from memory, so, I might have it wrong, but I think that was what Suge had told her, because I did not know that Lisa had a relationship with Suge Knight. And Suge Knight was saying, now you have to remember, Andre, Tupac, Suge Knight, they were friends. But when Andre first met Lisa Left Eye, he did not know that Lisa knew Tupac. Not at that particular time, because I think they met in a club. Well, also, Suge said the same thing that had happened to Andre, that, Lisa and him talked because Lisa knew Suge, and they became romantically involved, but she went and got all of her clothes. She came over there, got all her clothes, came back, and she didn't leave. Well, initially that's what happened with Andre. They met at the club. She came home with him, and basically she never went home, and he kind of laughed about it. And the way he said it was not a jab. The way he said it was more like letting people know the connection that they had. Well, opposed to what his sister, she came over and she never left, with some animosity type, stuff in her voice. But Andre just wanted, I think he said it because he wanted people to know the connection that the two had. So when Suge and Lisa had that connection, and then Andre found out about it, that was him for her. Because mind you, even with the burning of this and the knocking out of windows in the car and the burning down of the house and the pushing and the shoving and slapping and, and everything that was in that relationship, they still stayed in the relationship. Because even after the house was burnt down and she went to this I want to say detention center it was, and spent a few months there, because that was part of his sentence. And then I think she was on probation for about 5 years. He would go to that center to visit her. He would sneak her in. He said crab and lobster, she was eating good up in there. And he didn't visit her. It was a time he didn't visit her only because even though it was off season for him, he got a call and he had to fly down to Ohio to meet, with some people. So it was business. So, he missed her and she missed him. So even after the burning down of the house and all this, they were still a couple. But I think what the straw was, and he felt like he couldn't get back with Lisa, because I think he was probably the initiator all the time. Because even after she burnt down the house, he wasn't at the house. He got on his motorcycle going from jail to jail to bail her out. But when he heard about Suge Knight, I think that was the straw, because he even saw her after he knew about Suge Knight. He even saw her at a club. And when his buddy said, "Isn't that Lisa down there?" And he looked, he said, "Yeah, that's Lisa." And the guy said, "You want me to bring her up?" I guess they had, their little VIP section. He said, "No, I'm good." And the guy said that kind of surprised him, because that was the first time that Andre had not opened up to bring Lisa back in. Now let's go back and go to the this thing, kind of odd and strange and a little bit petty to me. When it was mentioned that they thought that Lisa was a bad influence for Andre. And it was mentioned that Andre was always in furs and suits and whatever, when he was with Lisa. I mean, when he was, before he met Lisa. But then when he met Lisa, then, he started wearing jeans and he started looking more casual and more, but can't nobody, dictate to you what you wear, make you wear it. She probably looked in his closet, man, you don't have nothing comfortable. Be walking around with a suit or this or whatever, and as her sister mentioned, they would go shopping, and Lisa was always generous, and she always brought something back for Andre, because that's how she was generous with people. Because even in Honduras, when her friend hit the little boy and killed the little boy, Lisa paid for the funeral. And the thing she mentioned was when they was in Honduras, and her friend accidentally hit this little boy. I think he was 9 years old, what have you. The little boy's last name was Lopes. And Lisa she was in tune with a lot of spiritual, things. And so that falls in line with Suge saying that she thought that spirits was after her, and Suge mentioned it demons. He didn't say that she used the word, but he said there was demons after her. And then they just mentioned, she was the only one in the car that got killed. Even Andre said, she was the littlest one. Why was she only the one? Why was, it was very strange. People thought that she was the only one that got killed. I did not realize it was a head-on collision. I didn't know that. For some reason, I had in my mind that she lost control and it fell in the ditch. And so, that wasn't very clear. But I think if I went over the last days of Left Eye, that documentary that she filmed up until the time that she was killed in the car, I was always under the impression she ran into a ditch, but ultimately the end result was the end result. She died in that crash. When she died in that crash, her mom said that, excuse me guys, I got to sneeze. Thank you. Her mom said that she was in the kitchen and she heard this loud noise, crashing of metal. She heard when Lisa got killed. She heard it. She heard the car crash. So her sister, which name is Raindrop. I know. I never heard that before, but Rain is Reign, drop. So I like it. I never heard that before, but that's a cute name. But anyway, Raindrop referenced that Lisa was so much like her mom as far as in tune with the things of the spirit, spiritual things. Now, getting back to Lisa was over in the Honduras because she wanted to change some things that she didn't like about herself. She wanted to meditate. She wanted to embrace a better lifestyle. So she knew it was some things about her that she needed to change and wanted to change. And so, who can respect that? You're like, okay, I'm doing all this madness and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I need to change. So I don't think maybe if she stayed over in the United States that with her surroundings that she was able to just kind of seek a solution. So in my opinion is that's why she went to Honduras, is to be with nature and, not have all these other things influence her, not having to be bothered with, ex-family members or, and also to let you guys know that Lisa and Andre were going to get married. They were engaged, but she called off the engagement because I think that, and it was mentioned in the series that she was not ready to be married. So I think all along, Lisa knew there was things that she needed to change about herself. It's a lot of things. So if you guys could just go on and watch that, it's on Lifetime. If you can stream it, or if you can go and somebody on YouTube probably have the whole, series or whatever. If I see it, I'll put in a link, so you could just watch the whole, series, of Left Eye, Lisa Left Eye, Lopes and Andre Rison. I think it's very, interesting. It's an interesting watch. Some things I felt like, okay, maybe that should not have been in the series, but, I don't know. I don't know. Most things, I do not agree with what his sister said or the tone on which she said, because like I say, you have to remember, Lisa's not here to defend herself, to rebut anything what anybody says. You can only go from the footage that was filmed of her and what people said about her. She's not here to defend herself, but I just didn't like the tone of a lot of things. But I will tell you something that everybody agreed, even his sister, Raquel Brown, Andre's sister, everybody agreed that Lisa loved Andre and Andre loved Lisa. That's one thing they could not dispute, and that's one thing that they agreed upon. And my final word on this is on the series. Like I said, it was interesting. I enjoyed watching it, just learning some things about Lisa and just finding a few things out about her past that may have triggered some things for her. Who knows? Some things about Andre's past, that he shared similarities with Lisa. It's just, overall, it was a learning thing for me. I learned a lot about the people involved. I learned that jealousy is a green-eyed monster, and I do personally, in my opinion, believe that his sister was jealous because she wanted her brother all to herself. She had lost her father, and the only other male figure, close was her brother. I believe that she was just jealous. So I hope her knowing that they loved each other can maybe help her heal from some things, because I think she's still hurting about some things. And I think she may even have some regrets about how she treated Lisa. And I hope that she gets, some peace with that and repent for any part that she had in making that relationship more difficult than what it had to be. And so that's my spin on it. If you have your opinions on it, leave your comment down below in the comment section, and that's what I have for right now. This podcast is a little longer than I thought it would be, but I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of why I say what I said, looking at it, why I felt what I felt regarding different people. Sisters jealous, the mom, his mom, I don't think she came right and said this happened, that happened. She didn't want his son with her, and she thought that she was a negative influence. But she always said, "But I never hated her," and I believe her. She looked like the type of woman that she can see your shortcomings, and she don't have to agree with you on this, that, and the other. But I don't hate you. I don't hate you. I don't agree with what you're doing. And in fact, I think that's ugly what you just did, but I don't hate you. And you know what? Even though Andre, when he heard of Suge Knight, that was it for him, who knows what happened in the future? Because when he was told that Lisa got killed, he referred to Lisa as his wife. And it's one thing when you figure, I don't want nothing to do with this person or what have you. She did this or he did that. But then when they die, you go back and even if you wanted to get back with that person, you can't. You can't. It's too late. She's gone or he's gone. So you look back and regret, and he had really nothing bad to say. In fact, none of them except for the sister had anything bad to say about the sister. And I, and that was her truth, the way she saw it. I think she could have been more like her mom and disagreed with, okay, you done burnt down my brother's house, this, that, and the other. But in a fashion that let her know, but you know what? That was his choice. I don't hate her, but I sure didn't like the things she said. But it was just, trying to act like Lisa was on voodoo and, like in order to keep her brother, she had to put a voodoo spell on her brother, that voodoo stuff, she didn't even have to go into that. So I think she really believed that. But at the same token, I don't think she ever thought when all that was going through that Lisa would get killed in an accident. But I do think she's still harboring some resentment towards Lisa Left Eye, in my opinion. So overall, yes, the review is I would watch it. I would watch it again in the future, not right now, but I would watch it again just to, see if I missed anything. But I just enjoying learning more about Lisa, learning about Andre, seeing the dynamics of their relationship, and seeing that Lisa had problems like we all do. She had character flaws. Our flaws may be different, but she had character flaws. Andre had character flaws like we all do. But I think if he had to do it all over again, and he could see what the end result would be, I think things would have been different. I think that would be with most of us. If we could see the end from the beginning, then we would do things differently. So anyway, I'm going to leave you there. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful work week. Have a wonderful week. And thank you again, all my subscribers and those of you who are going to hit that subscribe button right now and that notification bell. And everyone, have a good night.